Hello students, this video is related with the microorganisms and us one. So I have divided this topic into two sections so not to get confusions. So this video, microorganism and us, this basically related with the interrelationship, understanding of interrelationship between the microorganisms and the human beings. Its useful and harmful applications and few useful and harmful microorganisms and applications and all. Previously we have gone through different types of microorganisms, its structures, its examples, again different types of viruses, its etc. So let's, in this topic, microorganism and us, it is divided into four subtopics, that is useful microorganisms, harmful microorganisms, commercial uses of microorganisms, and nitrogen. And in this part 1, I've covered two subtopics, that is the useful microorganism and harmful microorganism. As microorganisms is very important part of the environment. For us, environment, plants and everyone, it may be useful or harmful. Microorganisms may be useful or harmful. So you can see presently to what extent microorganisms can be harmful to us. Example is corona. Pandemic is present. So we also go through the useful microorganisms, how they are useful to us. So let's see. So useful microorganisms helps in various activities, that is soil fertility, making curd, making bread and eatery, cleaning drain pipes and commercial uses. In soil fertility, microorganisms helps to decompose organic waste. Either it's vegetables, waste vegetables, or rotten fruits or plants or vegetables, etc., as well as the remains of the body. It helps to decompose it, and later what happens, whatever the minerals are there in the rotten organic waste, it gets mixed with the soil and it makes a manure, which helps to increase the soil fertility. Now see, in next, making curd, you know that the bacterium lactobacillus helps to convert the milk into curd. Next is making bread and eatery. In this making bread and eatery, dry yeast is very important. It is a unicellular fungus. So it helps to make batter and dough soft and fluffy, and helps in making cakes or breads, etc. In our native place, especially in Sikkim, Darjeeling Hills or Kalimpong, we used to mix it in that, or we used in while preparing momo and all, isn't it? Typo and all. Next is cleaning drain pipes. Protozoa play an important role in waste water treatment process. So waste water treatment process. So cleaning drain pipes. Some drain pipes, to clean drain pipes. So some microbes are there which takes heavy and toxic metals, which feed on actually heavy and toxic metals from polluted water source, so which helps to clean up the polluted sites. Next is the commercial use. Commercial use means in purpose of business and all. So microorganisms are used to manufacture large scale of alcohol, acetic acid, that is vinegar, wine, beer, acids, etc. Okay, it is also used in various chemical labs for preparing different kinds of chemicals. So these are the very basic useful applications of microorganisms. Okay. Now let us move on to the next harmful microorganisms. So you know how harmful microorganisms can be, how to what extent presently you can go with the COVID-19. So microorganisms are harmful in many ways. Some of the microorganisms cause diseases in human beings, plants and animals. Okay, they cause the diseases. Such disease causing microorganisms are called pathogens. Now, what are pathogens? Those microorganisms which cause disease to humans, plants or animals, they are called pathogens. Okay, so you just remember this term, pathogens. Pathogens enter our body through the air we breathe, the water we drink, or the food we eat. So this is how a pathogen enters in our body. Hope you remember. Please just relate with the COVID-19 corona case right now. Okay, these are the reasons why we are not going outside. We are in lockdown. Okay, so these are the reasons. Microbial disease that spread by an infected person. Okay, spread by an infected person to infected person or animal to a healthy person through air, water, and direct. These are called the communicable diseases. What is communicable diseases? Okay, whenever the microbial diseases that spread by infected person, okay, that it spread by infected person or animal to healthy person or animal through the air, water or food or direct or indirect contact are called communicable diseases. So example is the flu, cold and flu. These are the communicable diseases. Others are there are various communicable diseases. Example tuberculosis, TB, what we call TB, typhoid, measles, chickenpox, polio, cholera, hepatitis A, etc. Okay, so now remember the two terms pathogens, communicable disease. Next is the carrier. There are some insects and animals which act as carrier of disease causing microbes. So now what happens? These microbial diseases, they not only transfer in our body through air, water or food, they are also transferred through some carriers. Carriers may be either insects or animals, or human also may be a carrier. Okay, so carrier. So pathogens are get carried by either by air, water, food, as well as by animal or infected person or insects or human beings, okay, to a healthy one or to another place, which helps to spread the disease. So this is the carrier. So example you can see here, housefly, female anopheles mosquito, that is which spreads malaria, which causes malaria, female Aedes mosquito which causes dengue. So these are the carriers. Some examples of microbial disease is tuberculosis, see here, typhoid, measles, chickenpox, polio, cholera, hepatitis A, etc. So these are the useful and harmful microorganisms and the diseases caused by the harmful microorganisms. And next, see, you can see these diseases. Okay, this measles. You can see here in the body of a child. Okay, these are the disease. These are measles. It should be a child, newborn should get vaccinated with this measles okay, vaccines. Now this chickenpox, you can see the chickenpox, what happens in a body, okay. These all are the communicable diseases. This is the HIV virus structure. So HIV is also a communicable disease. Now you can see malaria. This is how malaria affects, okay. Infection happens. So now what happens? Mosquito, now what happens? Mosquito gets suck, bite infected person, and it's take up the blood of the infected person. So where this sporozoids is present, okay. So now what happens once this mosquito bites infected person and suck up blood along with sporozoids, then it comes, and if it bites another non-infected or healthy person, and what happens once it bites, it releases this blood sporozoids into that person body. And what happens, this sporozoids gets inside into the liver. Now you see here in the liver it is there. Now it gets multiplies, okay. Now this sporozoids become the merozoids. Now what happens, these merozoids come inside into the blood cells. This is the RBC, okay. This is RBC. So now what happens in RBC? Asexual life cycle, okay. Asexual life cycle happens. So it gets inside and it multiplies here. Now what happens? It forms a gametocyte. So sporozoite, merozoite, and later it forms gametocyte. And what happens? It is released into the body, blood, okay. So again now what happens? This mosquito comes, it bites the infected person, and it again suck up these gametocytes, okay. The blood infected with the malaria gametocyte. So this is how it transmits the malaria to a from infected person to a healthy person. Now this is the hepatitis C, okay. What happens, and now you can see the normal liver here, okay, liver of human being, and now you see the hepatitis C damage. So all that spot things happens, no. So this is the different diseases, communicable diseases caused by harmful bacteria. So now know the terms while going through this harmful diseases, okay. Now we have to remember these three terms: endemic, an epidemic, and a pandemic. Endemic is what? It is something that is belongs to a particular people or country, okay, like dengue fever. Now what happens? Now what happens if this is whole African continent, okay. So in a particular place within African continent, okay, there may be a dengue fever, okay. So if you can say this country has dengue fever, this country has dengue fever, and this is endemic. So other place they don't have this dengue fever in this continent, okay. So only here there is endemic uh, dengue fever. So this is endemic to this country or this place. This is endemic. Now next, if move to the epidemic, okay. It is a disease that spreads quickly to a very large population. Spreads quickly to a very large population within a community, population, or a region, causing an endemic. Now what happens is, if I say this is India and this is Kerala. Now what happens mostly in Kerala, mostly these microorganisms, okay, that many outbreaks occur here like Nipah virus, COVID, etc. and all. So what happens last time? Nipah virus outbreak occurs here, okay. Nipah virus. So what happened? So it spread only within this in the state of Kerala in India. So now this is epidemic to that particular region. So now Dimba virus is epidemic to the Kerala. So it is often localized to but number of okay, in this case what happens? The number of those infected in that region is significantly higher than normal. So endemic is particular to a population or a country. Now this is particular community, population or region. Okay. Now if I talk about again in India was Nipah virus in Kerala. Okay. Now if in 2019 COVID-19 or corona was limited to one in China, but after December, January, it spreads geographical crossing all the geographical barrier and become pandemic to the overall world. So pandemic is it is an epidemic. Okay, it is an epidemic that spreads over multiple countries or continents. I hope you got this now. So it spreads to it from Wuhan, China. Okay, from Wuhan, China, it spreads all over to the world. It is South Africa to the India, okay, to USA, over the world. So this is three terms: endemic, epidemic, and pandemic. Now next see harmful microorganisms. Okay, again. So diseases in animals and its effects. You can see here the several eight causal diseases. That's anthrax. Anthrax is caused by the Bacillus anthrax. Okay, anthracis is a dangerous disease caused by bacteria in both humans and animals. So anthrax is dangerous. Okay, so it causes disease to both animals and humans. Now next is the foot mouth. I'll discuss later how anthrax works. Okay, foot and mouth disease in cattle is caused by a virus. Some other communities in animals are the if that was for human being. Now this is the animal leptospirosis, anaplasmosis, tularemia, and bovine tuberculosis. Animal diseases affect dairy and okay. Once the animal get infected with the microorganisms, what happens is if there is a farm, okay, either livestock, either for meat or for milk or for eggs, the chickens and all. So what once they get infected with this microorganism, so it spreads so rapidly that if all the animals, okay, mostly get infected at the same time. So what happens? This will affect the dairy and the meat industries in a financial or economical level. It affects and the production can be negatively affected. And next, these are the diseases in animals and they causes negative reaction in the production as well as economical or financial level. Now next is the several organisms cause diseases. Okay, now in disease in the plants. Now we see in disease on plants also. Okay, India is mainly agricultural country. We basically depends upon agriculture. Even in our villages or state or which state or village in India, they depend upon the agriculture. So what happens basically here is several microorganisms. Okay, once it infect the plant, either wheat, rice, potato, sugarcane, orange, fruits, etc. What happens? They also lead to a reduction in the yield of crops and create financial loss. Okay, there are many diseases that caused by microorganisms such as citrus canker, rust in wheat, yellow vein mosaic in okra. Okra means brinjal, not brinjal, lady's finger. And next thing is the blight in rice, potato, etc. So harmful microorganisms, they are harmful to human beings, to animals and disease. They are useful as well as harmful. Okay, so in case of harmful, they are harmful to everything, to plants, to animals, to humans. Okay, they cause diseases, various diseases in animals and humans. Some people, okay, some may die due to the infection. Now see here bacteriophage. This is the bacteriophage. Okay, This is the bacteriophage virus. This is one of the, there are 5 different types of virus, isn't it? So one of the viruses, the bacteriophage virus, which helps in the genetic engineering. Okay, so it is a useful virus. So let's say this is the DNA. Okay, this is the DNA. This is the hexagonal. This is the head. So it is basically divided into the head, collar, and this body, tail plate. Okay, tail fibers. So now you see this is the head, and within the head there is a DNA segment. We call it a core. We call it a collar. This neck. This is the neck region. Okay, it's a core. And this is a tail sheet. The tail is covered by a sheet cover, that is tail sheet. This is the tail fibers. Now you can see the blue thing. This is the base plate and tail pins. So this is the basic structure of bacteriophage virus. To remember, please, this thing is very important. Now this is the tobacco mosaic virus. This is a harmful virus that causes diseases to the tobacco plant. Okay, so this is a virus. So it's the inner cross section of the virus. Okay, virus is like long tube-like structure. Okay, it has been cut. So this is the cross section. So you can see here, these are protein molecules. This yellow, white, and orange. This is central core. You got it. This is the central core, and this is genetic material RNA. Okay, this is the RNA. This light green thing you can see here. This is the RNA. Okay, and you can see here. This is this one. Okay, surface view. And this is the protein coat capsid. These are the protein, these are covered by a protein coat. Okay, now this is the foot and mouth disease caused by a virus in animals, that's bovine. Okay, this you can see here, this and this and this. So anthrax, let us know about what is anthrax and how it affects to both humans and animals. Now see what is bacteria. Okay, bacillus anthracis, it causes the anthrax. Okay, yeah, it is, okay, you know that virus, no? But in this case the which bacteria is also dormant spores, mane it is not active outside the soil. Okay, so it lives in the, it basically we found in environment, in the soil, so it remains out there for a decade. Okay, even if it don't get host, if we don't get host in a month, in a days, in a month, in a year, it will remain no, inactive or in dormant stage for several decades, more than 10 years. Okay, for many years. So this is the bacteria known as the bacillus anthracis, which produce dormant spores. Now what happens, these are the spores. Okay, so now what happens, these spores are present in the soil or in this grass. Okay, so once the cow or animals it feed upon the grass, and it also take this along with the grass, it uh, spread through the air also. Okay, while breathing or while taking oxygen, it enters the body, and when enters get into the body, okay, when the spores get into the body, animal body or person, what happens, a place rich with sugar, water, and other nutrients, they get activated and turn into active growing cells. Now this dormant now this dormant anthrax, anthracis bacteria now become this, you can see here, this long thing, rod shaped, it becomes rod shaped, active. So when they become active, the bacteria can multiply, spread out in the body, produce toxins, poisons, and cause severe illness. So it may cause death to the animal. Okay, so this is the anthrax that is infectious or harmful to both animals and humans. Now see, these are the few pictures of the plant diseases. This is the rust in the wheat plant, you can see here, these are the rust. Okay, so it, due to this the production become less. Now this is the blight in potato. Blight, this is blight, potato blight. This is a tobacco mosaic virus. Tobacco mosaic virus cause this mosaic disease in a tobacco plant. This is happening in the citrus canker. Okay, you can see here. So these are the diseases caused by bacteria or microorganisms or virus to the plants and to the animals. Now see here, food preservation. Okay, now you see all these harmful activities of the microorganisms. So we have to preserve our food, isn't it? So food preservation, it is a process. Is a process used to reduce the rate at which the microorganisms affect our food. Is okay. So food reason we have to preserve food from getting spoiled by microorganisms. So the main reason to preserve food is food poisoning, to prevent food poisoning due to this microorganisms. So there are various processes to preserve food. They are the canning. Canning means we can preserve, okay, with the help with the use of vinegar, sodium benzoate, oil, citric acid, etc. Next, pasteurization. This pasteurization, basically milk is pasteurized, okay, to keep it for a long time. Refrigeration, so we keep food in refrigerator, not to keep cooling it, so it do not get spoiled. Next, dehydration. We dry the fruits or vegetables, isn't it, to before making a pickle, basically mula ko achar or aap ko achar in our native area. What we do, dehydration, isn't it? We dry it in a sun. Use of preservatives, different spices we use mustard oil, somebody use salt, isn't it? So now next is the heating, boiling and drying. Okay, these are the different process for preservation. So now we see bottling and canning. We use preservatives such as vinegars, sodium benzoate, oil and citric acid, etc. Pasteurization, it is a process to use to preserve milk. Dehydration, it helps to preserve food by retaining moisture by drying, sun drying. Okay, pickling, this. We use vinegar or oil. So as bacteria cannot live in an oily environment. Now these are the different process of pickling, canning, preservation of foods, of these vegetables or pickles or different things, meat and all. See, now the milk pasteurization. Now you see, milk pasteurization is, it has different steps. Okay, it begins from 180 degree to 200 up to 280 degree, and it varies. Okay, so now what happens is, low temperature pasteurization, more enzymes and proteins remain intact with the when the milk is heated. Below this temperature, below 160 temperature or below 150 to 180 temperature, what happens, still the enzymes, many proteins remain intact. In high temperature, what happens, it kills the enzymes, much of the healthy microorganisms, it kills everything, denatures the proteins. Denature, it breaks the protein. Okay, and this milk is become difficult to digest. So the small child, okay, small babies, they can't digest this packet milk, so they, because of this, if they take this milk, okay, they have, they face problem with loose motion and all, okay, dysentery and all, so it is not good for the child. So high temperature is, they kills everything. Because of this, pasteurization is preferred. Okay, now it's ultra pasteurization, so it, the temperature is almost 280 degrees Celsius. Okay, now here what happens, kill potentially harmful bacteria in the milk, but also damage all the vitamins, minerals. Okay, and so ultra pasteurization, it kills everything, all the harmful bacteria, including proteins, vitamins, minerals, etc. So pasteurization is very useful to us, but still it loses all the importance while losing the proteins, damaging the proteins, nutrients, minerals, etc. So This is let's start in this part. So you see that we went through different terms today. Okay, let's revise once. Useful microorganism, harmful microorganism. Useful microorganisms helps in soil fertility, making curd, bread, and eatery, cleaning drain pipes, commercial use. Harmful bacteria is there. Okay, there is a term called pathogen. मतलब those microorganisms which causes disease to human beings, plants, and animals. They are the pathogens. They are carried by some insect or animals. They are known as the carriers, and they causes what? They cause diseases, known as the communal disease, which spread by an infected person or animal to healthy person through air, water, food, or direct or indirect contact. Okay. So now these are the different. There are different communicable diseases like malaria, measles, chickenpox, HIV, AIDS, hepatitis, etc. Now there are another three terms that we basically came up. There's endemic, epidemic, and pandemic. Endemic is something that belongs to particular people or country. Like if I talk about dengue fever, it certain region of Africa, certain region, certain region of South America, and certain region of Caribbean island. In case of epidemic, it spreads quickly in large population within a community, population or region. Example is COVID-19, which was limited to Wuhan in China, but it gradually spread to other geographical area, converting it into a pandemic. In case of India, Nipah virus was epidemic to Kerala in India. Now the pandemic is it is spread over multiple countries or continents. Example is the COVID-19. Next is harmful bacteria organisms, that is anthrax, which it is generally disease caused by Bacillus anthracis. Foot and mouth disease is caused in animals. Now there is another examples: leptospirosis, anaplasmosis, tularemia, bovine tuberculosis, etc. These in plants, this citrus canker, wheat rust, yellow vein mosaic in okra, blight in rice and potato, and these harmful organisms causes diseases in both plants and animals, which leads to the reduction in the yield of crops or dairy and meat industries and create financial loss. There is the different diseases, and food preservation by bottling or canning, pasteurization, dehydration, pickling, etc. So, students, this is this much only in this video. In the next video, I will come up with remaining portion. Commercial use and it's the nitrogen cycle, nitrogen fixation. So thank you, students. Go through it, and please, for any suggestion or for any queries, please use the comment box. Thank you.